serpent says, oh, did God say that? And we run into that all the time now, where people say, well, if God said that, then I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people speaking for God out there right now, some of whom probably are easily picked off as people more interested in certainty than in salvation. We also have the danger of the word salvation as a once-in-a-time experience. It's very interesting if you look at the way in which many people come into the church. They don't come in as a result of a crisis, on their knees, hit by lightning, kind of a St. Paul kind of conversion, But ironically, when those moments do occur, they're often preceded by maybe a year or 2 years of wrestling with faith questions that lines you up for that moment when your light comes on and you say, I do believe. And a lot of that comes from thinking, asking questions, stopping and saying, well, why could that be true? Or what are the chances that that is more true than other accounts? Because history is a probability. It's like going to court. And, you have a lawyer, and the lawyer makes his case, and then you have the lawyer on the other side that makes his case, and you are the poor jury who has to decide which case is convincing. I've been called for jury duty. It's interesting that when I was called, both sides did not want me on the jury because my job is reconstructing facts. And both the defense and the prosecution were afraid of what I might come up with from what they said. Because we take the evidence, we build a case, because everybody does anyway. When you buy a car, someone says, why'd you pick that one? And you justify it with your reasoning.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing is true of a Christian. Somebody says, why do you believe this crap? Or why do you believe this irrational or this neurotic fascination? And you have to be able to say, well, it's not just because it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Although I think sometimes that's reason enough for some people. But essentially in the world I live in and the world most people live in, you need to have reasons enough.
Yeah. One
of the great books of apologetics, that's the explaining of why Christianity is believable, is entitled, in fact, Reason Enough. That we don't have everything factually nailed down. In fact, if we did, because it involves faith, you could probably suspect that we're playing with the evidence or with the argument, you know. So the question becomes for us at this point in our search, and it is a search. We're engaged in what I might call the long search for reasonable faith, reasonable grounds, reasonable practice of Christian faith, a reasonable presentation of the Christian faith, that we actually are able to present things so that when someone asks, do you really believe God said that? Or why do you believe? Or how can you believe? That we actually have an ability to say, well, here's what my thinking has been, here's what my experience has been. All those things that are part of building a life. Our character is often based upon some beliefs, some practices, some habits, which become built around a personality. And a personality without reason is one you put in the hospital. A personality that's only reason you can't relate to.
Yeah, it's too cold.
No, that's absolutely right. So you're looking for believers who have both the heart and the head put together and can connect that to their life experience. And that's what we're looking for. What connects to life experience and what can transform your life experience by knowing something.